I also hold the CBRNE. Having the opportunity to join the American College of Forensic Examiners was a manner in which I could inculcate all of my past experiences and personal interests into one area of thrust. Having the ability to call upon peers and to be able to network with other members of the college has been an invaluable source of support. Attending these conferences allows me to put the faces with the names. It also allows me to network on a more informal basis. Currently, I am working with a wonderful team in an effort to assist our returning veterans from Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan and Operation Iraqi Freedom, returning vets from Iraq. These people have been exposed, men and women, to terrible traumas which have left many of them suffering with PTSD. And unfortunately, as you are all aware, the suicide rate for returning veterans is unacceptably high. We are all, with this agency, attempting to address those issues. Although that is what I am doing in this incarnation, I have been asked to discuss perhaps 2 or 3 past experiences which have been more noteworthy or more dramatic. At the time in my life, when I was still posted in North Dakota working for the military, I was also the chief medical examiner or coroner. This is before the days of television support with CSI and its other examples of Hollywood attempting to imitate life. One specific case comes to mind, and I, of course, cannot mention the name of the case because it did receive, at that time, worldwide publicity. But it was the case of an infant, newborn, found in a trunk, a piece of luggage, floating in a small estuary on one of the many Native American reservations in this great nation of ours. Since it had occurred on a federal reservation, the FBI was called in, and since at that point in time I was working as a firearms inspector, firearms instructor, and weaponry training with the FBI, in addition to my medical examining duties and obligations, I was called in as an outside consultant. I must say that everything that one sees on television today was attempted in its use to solve that particular case. But here we are, fully 20 years later, and no closer to identifying either the victim or the perpetrator. While serving in that same position, however, it was my good fortune to be able to investigate 2 other cases which had previously been written off as death by natural causes or accidental death. Both of these individuals had been murdered. We were able to examine the remains, establish time of death, cause of death, and perpetrators. That gave us on the team a sense of completion and a sense of having done what it is that we had all entered the service for. I've been asked also to address some of the background in my life that has led me to my current position with the American College of Forensic Examiners as well as Homeland Security. I grew up in an intelligence community and as an adult was fortunate enough to serve in many countries, both in Europe during the Cold War days on both sides of what we then call the Iron Curtain, and then ultimately to serve 15 years to the south of the United States in Central and South America as well as Mexico. This experience gave me the opportunity to continue to deal with the international intelligence community, to bring to the forefront my background in firearms, weaponry, and explosive ordnance disposal, as well as intelligence gathering and utilization in making cases and sometimes even solving those cases. When I was fortunate enough to return to my current location, I was even further blessed by being able to get the position which I currently hold, dealing with our returning young men. It is truly the desire of the entire agency which currently employs me, but who I am not representing at this presentation. And I need that to be perfectly clear, that I am attending today's conference and this week's conference as a private individual, not as a representative of any government agency. But the team with which I currently work has but one focus and one goal, and that is the betterment of the lives of our returning veterans. Their services have paid up front for whatever we can offer them now. It is not a privilege, it is a right. To me, it is a privilege to assist in the execution of the delivery of the rights of these fine young men and women who have put themselves on the line. I never lose sight of the fact that these young men and women have put their lives in harm's way for my children. And it is by virtue of their courageous acts of heroism every day that allow my two daughters to continue to speak English and allows my wife to live in a community where she can walk the streets without fear. If anything, I would hope that networking today and tomorrow and the next day at the ACFEI 2009 annual conference will enable me to continue networking, to continue to make contacts, and to continue to find ways in which I may better serve our fine young American men and women. That, I believe, covers all of the questions and all of the areas which I have been asked to discuss. Thank you for the privilege of allowing me this opportunity to represent myself as yet another American citizen who stands ready to put myself back in harm's way to defend my family, my country, and my God. Thank you.